A man who died when his ear infection was missed during telephone consultations with his GP surgery should have been seen face to face. That is according to a ruling by NHS England. An investigation by the BBC's Newsnight programme found that 26-year-old David Nash had 4 phone calls over 3 weeks during COVID restrictions, but was never offered an in-person appointment. David Crosman reports.
Scared. I'm worried about what it could be. I'm worried it could be cancer.
David Nash didn't have cancer. The 26-year-old musician and law student had a middle ear infection, but was otherwise fit and healthy. It's a condition that's normally very easily treated. As his symptoms worsened, he had 4 telephone consultations with 4 different clinicians at his GP practice over 20 days in the autumn of 2020. Each failed to diagnose his condition.
They did.
His parents believe that not being able to see a doctor face to face was a significant factor in his death.
David died from a condition that you'd expect to see happen in the third world. You know, people living in the middle of nowhere with no access to medical treatment.
It's all right. I feel like I'm on the phone to you all the time, so I'll be used to it.
Newsnight has obtained the audio recordings of David's consultations. By the 4th one, he's very ill. The infection has spread to his brain. He's in extreme pain and he's slurring his words.
I've got pain behind both eyes, my sinuses, my back and my neck, and I've got temperature as well.
Sinuses?
Sinuses in the back of the neck, so like the cheek area and the back of the neck.
Back of your neck? You don't have sinuses in the back of your neck usually?
No.
Each clinician David spoke to, it was as though it was the
first consultation.
It was treated as a standalone
separate
consultation, and very little regard was given to the fact that this was, you know, the 4th time, and that only days earlier he was passing blood.
Sorry, the line's not very good.
David has now had 4 telephone consultations and was so gravely ill that he was to die 2 days after this final call.
Do you think you've done anything? So you've not been in a bit of a bump in a car, or you've not been doing lots and lots of computer work or any exercises that might have wrenched your neck or anything?
No, I'm not done anything for about a week.
It's been appalling care. I think they've completely let David down at every single point. And I am absolutely convinced as David's mum that if he'd been seen on that last consultation, he would still be with us today.
Newsnight understands that NHS England, which investigated David's care, has concluded that, while he could have been seen face to face at any point, there was a clinical rationale for not seeing him until the 4th call. They judged that that call was not satisfactory and a face-to-face consultation should have been organised.
That's him and I at his christening.
Yeah. An inquest is scheduled for the new year. David's GP surgery extended its condolences to the family, but said it won't comment until after that concludes. The coroner will look at whether not receiving face-to-face care contributed to his death. David Grossman, BBC News.
And you can see the full investigation tonight on Newsnight at BBC 2 at 10:30.